Is there another pandemic on the horizon? And remember what happened during the last time? Every crypto pumped to the moon. We're also going to talk about gold hitting all-time highs. By the way, you can buy gold with XRP. XRP price action at the end, of course.
Because it's Saturday.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
What's up, dudes and chicks? Well, I'll tell you what's up. The world is thinking about the next pandemic. But before we get into that and great news regarding crypto, we got to hit up your comments. That's right. Drop me something hot, something spicy. Maybe I'll share it in the beginning of my next video. Patrick Dalton says, Sweden in the house. Arrived late. I agree with Trick. The more I think of it, getting closer to the elections and the bad loss by the SEC, they don't need the bad press. Don't get me wrong, Gary is a slippery snake for sure, but he knows his ass is on the line if Trump gets in. So it's a long 53 days. By the way, it's 52 days that we've got left for either Ripple or SEC to appeal. What a stupid guy getting the judge's gender wrong. One thing for sure, all Miss Torres is a lady and we all like her. Two, that guy got mixed up as dick for sure. Well done, Patrick. Jared Ames Photography says the SEC is 100% going to appeal. But here's the trick. They're going to wait until almost the end of the 60 days before filing their appeal. Maybe 5 days before. Because remember, it's not about winning the case. It's about prolonging the process, allowing the banks, fiat, and elites and the government more time to make their moves. That's a really good observation because I think a lot of us here are sitting and thinking the same thing. We're thinking, wait a minute. The reason the SEC went after Ripple so much was to give banks some time because it's all about moving money, right? FedNow is moving money, BRICS is moving money, SWIFT is moving money, everyone's moving money. So if you could delay your competitors, and yes, Ripple is a competitor to FedNow because they're both services that move money and they both make money on moving money. So if traditional finance could delay Ripple, yeah, I see what he's saying here. Well done, Jared. Heat map, you got it. 59,382 is the price of BTC, while ETH is at 2605. BNB is at 530, looking healthy, but I am still concerned regarding BNB. Sol up next on the ETF train. Choo-choo, probably not with Sol. 139 is the price. XRP's at 56.6, while Charles is wondering why no one loves ADA's 33.3 cents in their Chang hard fork. Because no one gives a fuck about dev news in the crypto space. It's all about bigger macros. Speaking of bigger macros, do we got to talk about this crap again? For real. All of a sudden, my feed now is filled monkeypox this, monkeypox that. Now they're calling it Mpox. Shut the up. It's just another bullshit thing to scare us. Right before the election, too. What timing? Pandemic fears ignite as Mpox outbreak leads to high-stakes betting on Polymarket. Now remember, the last time we had the pandemic with Rona, the crypto markets pumped. Why? Because they had to lower rates to like zero, okay? And they had to give everyone money, and we were all locked down, so we were all degen crypto gambling. So if Mpox does happen in terms of like a global pandemic scale thing, will that help pump the crypto markets? Years after COVID-19 pandemic, the media has turned its attention to the latest Mpox outbreak, with one editorial by the AP questioning whether or not it could be declared a pandemic in the headline. This speculation has jumped the headlines to the prediction markets, where Polymarket, a blockchain-powered platform, now features several bets on the Mpox situation. In fact, they've got one here for the U.S. What are the odds that there's going to be a confirmed case of monkeypox by August 31st? Dude, it's like a 50-50 bet right now. Why is it that this bullshit happens right before elections? Seriously, come on now. Okay, now along with that though, safe haven assets are getting a big pump. Why? Well, because when they start turning interest rates down, remember, you're earning less interest on the cash that you have parked there. Gold doesn't offer interest. Gold just offers the fight against inflation. So as they turn interest rates down, gold might even pump even more, and it's at all-time high action right now. Because people are like, look, if they're going to start, money printer going burr again because of the old Mpox, and we know what happened last time, people are like, yo, let's get into gold now. Spot gold hits a record high as it surpasses 2,500 in ounces. Fed rate cut expectations grow. Bullion for immediate delivery touched 2,500. Speaking of touching things, you touch that subscribe button and the like button yourself if you got a few minutes, because it's Saturday. Surpassing the previous all-time high set last month, the Surge filed a disappointing report in the U.S. housing market, which reinforced expectations that the Fed may implement swift and significant rate cuts to support the economy. Gold has gained more than 20% in value this year, driven by increased expectations of monetary easing and Middle East tensions. So you've got like this market dynamic where you got a bunch of players right now eyeing gold, safe haven assets, hedge against inflation, especially if we get locked down again. But if we get locked down again, then it's degen gambling season here, and the alts, even the shittiest of alts like ADA and XLM, have a chance of getting some love. XLM sitting at 9.5 cents, everyone. Melting motherfucking faces, isn't it? All right, now let's get over to the Ripple news. So yesterday, I shared with you an article about a gentleman named Kelleher that said Torres is a complete idiot. In fact, he called Torres a he. Somehow, overnight, Torres grew a pee-pee. I don't know how the fuck that works. But anyways, he got Torres' gender wrong, so he knew that dude was a total dipshit. And he said the SEC had a 90% chance of winning. Well, now Stuart Alderati, Ripple's chief legal officer, is like, no, actually, they only have a 10% chance. Ripple CLO cites low appeal success rate in the SEC lawsuit. Will it affect the price? It depends on if they appeal. And every day at the beginning of the videos, I'm going to tell you how many days are left for them to appeal so we can celebrate at the end. By the way, there's 52 days left at the time of recording this. Statistically, the court's appeal, particularly the Second Circuit Court where this case would go, reverses lower courts less than 10% of the time. This success rate for appeals suggests that the SEC might face significant challenges if it decides to contest the current XRP ruling. And I got to be honest with you. The SEC, the only thing they could really gain is slowing Ripple down more, going after secondary sales. For the people in the comments right now, and for those of you watching that do not understand this concept, yes, the SEC is allowed to appeal. Yes, they're allowed to appeal programmatic sales, secondary markets. Yes, yes, yes. Just because there was a summary judgment doesn't mean we can't appeal that. There's two different appeals. Interlocutory, which happened right away when Torres issued summary judgment in 2023, and then the standard appeal, which is done after the remedies phase, which just happened. That's why we're saying 52 days left. But right now, Stuart Alderati saying, hey, 10% chance of the SEC winning. I don't know. Ripple will pay the fine. We're looking at a resolution within 24 days. That's right. They got 24 days to pay the fine, 52 days to avoid the appeal with Gare Bear. And honestly, Ripple, why would they want to appeal? If you want an XRP ETF, you need the SEC's approval. If you want a Ripple IPO, which I think Ripple totally wants, because you know how much money they could raise with that, you need the SEC's approval. Now, price-wise, all right, let's talk price-wise, because we're going in this weekend and the volume already fell to the floor. Down 40% volume to $681 million. Let's swing it on over to the candlesticks and give us a 15-minute look at things, which gives us a close enough and wide enough view. Honestly, XRP is basically going sideways until more macros come into the scene. You can see it clear as day. We've erased half the Torres gains. 64 cents was resistance. We're getting support north of 55, which is great. You can see it right here and right here, okay? So on the 15th and 16th of August, we were able to get support at the 55-cent range, but the volume is super low. Buyers are not there because people are waiting to see what happens with what? With the Mpox. People are also waiting to see what? Are we going to get an appeal? People are also waiting to see what? How are we going to do this when it comes to the election? Because guess what? Word on the street is that Kamala Harris is getting called out by crypto leadership for saying, hey, you've known about crypto regs and this problem the whole time, and you still haven't given us a stance? Cam, you're a fucking loser. So there is a lot to unpack in this video, and I'll give you a pretty basic summary of what's going on. You got a big chunk of the world right now thinking, hey, monkeypox might wreck us like the Rona, financially, health-wise, and all that. If that happens, governments have to lower rates real quick and pump money into the economy to keep the economies going. The problem we got, though, is economies are already soft right now because rates have been so high for so long that if we go into any sort of lockdowns, any sort of pandemic BS into an election season, bad. Now, governments then would have to lower rates, pump a whole bunch of money in the economy, and what happened last time? A bunch of that money and a bunch of that action flowed into the crypto markets. Why? Because sports were closed, a lot of betting and gambling stuff was closed, and people were like, yo, we could still gamble on crypto. Exactly. During the last pandemic, every crypto, the entire crypto market was bull run. Even the shittiest ones were like that, like taking the little blue pill. The problem we got, though, is that gold right now, people are buying it thinking, well, wait a minute. Jerome's got to lower rates, which would help out prices of gold. And gold is a really good hedge against inflation. And if governments have to lower rates and start doing money print or go burr to keep the economies going because of a potential lockdown with monkeypox, well, you know the story. I'm hoping that this whole monkeypox thing just blows right over, but this is an election year, and of course, let me check Garmin, the election isn't that far away. So of course some stupid fucking bullshittery would have to be rearing its ugly head now. And you also notice this is during the start of school, where they're going to be worried about kids and schools and stuff like that. The timing of this whole Mpox is just very sus right now. Maybe monkeypox and maybe COVID are like best friends, and maybe they're in like the same like chat group and like they chat each other. Yo, bro, you're losing steam. You want me to take over now? It's an election season. And monkeypox is like, yo, I got this. Ugh, getting horrible. Now, in terms of XRP, yes, you can use it to buy gold. But why would you use XRP to buy gold? That'd be a real weird one. Let me know down below if you would ever do that. Use your XRP to buy gold. But the price of XRP is fairly muted because we're waiting for a bunch of things. Volume this weekend sucks absolute balls. But what scares me is that if anything in the Middle East, any sort of tension, any rise in tension, any little flicker or flare of bullshit over there, markets are going straight down. There's just not enough volume, not enough money to hold it. And people right now are parking their money on the sidelines because they're waiting to see what happens with the election. I want you to think of the economy, the global economy, right? Because remember, every time the U.S. sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. The U.S. has herp, so don't sleep with the U.S. You might get a little itchy. But when we're looking at this in the United States with crypto, with prices, if we start seeing the problems that we are, crypto could be in some big trouble because players are on the sidelines. They're waiting to see what happens with Trump and Kamala because the Trump and Kamala camps have way different views on how to tackle the economy. So right now, money is parked on the sidelines because they don't know if this person or this person is going to be in charge, and they don't know if the Mpox, is going to start creating more inflationary problems. Is this what you wanted when you woke up Saturday? Because I sure as shit didn't want this Saturday. I wanted something naughty, something nasty. That's just me, though. As always, love y'all, and choo-choo bitches.